So it's been a minute since I have made like a full-on sit-down video. We're in the new year of 2026 and I'm getting an influx of so many leads and inquiries on working with me on their fitness and nutrition. I know that no one is a stranger to exercise and nutrition, what is good for you, what is not good for you. You know when you've had a good week versus a bad week, what to do. You just don't hold yourself accountable to doing those things, and so people have been coming to me to really hone in on the strategy and the accountability aspect of getting to their goals, trying to lose the last 10 to 15 pounds, right? Who has done 3 bodybuilding shows, the third one being like my best. Like I, dropped a bunch of weight, got super lean, had a 6-pack, like did the thing, did the whole process, and it was really fun. What it takes to amp up and to take the intensity to a whole new level and to stick to something until you actually follow through with it. And so although I know that people who are coming to me are way more lifestyle and are just wanting to get to a new baseline of health, they're not really trying to get on, bodybuilding stages or whatnot, but there's still a level of intensity that you mentally get into. You're just like, okay, this is it. Like, I've had enough of whatever excuses I've been living in, and I'm ready to just freaking do this. You've seen most of my shorts videos that I've been posting a lot more on there. You see that I make it mostly related to fitness and mindset. I really just want to go into the habits and the strategy to actually accomplish your goals this year. Habits that are actually going to help you get to the goals that you want to get to. I want to go into like exactly what you're going to have to really back off of, really take some sacrifices in, and what are you going to have to dial in. And I see people going completely in the wrong direction, and they think that they're like putting all of this ammo into their efforts, and it's kind of in the wrong direction in my opinion. But like, let's get into some do's and don'ts. The definite do's that are still tried and true and to the basics. Making sure your sleep is on point. Getting enough sleep. Cannot emphasize that enough. 2. Making sure you're at least drinking like half a gallon of water. I think for my clients, this is a big thing, like getting in their water, like having a water jug right next to you and constantly going up to it and sipping on it. Like, I get it, you're gonna have to pee a lot more, but I promise you it's so worth it. The biggest one, stress. If you are stressed out, you work a stressful job, you've got a lot of stress going on in your life, you have got to minimize that as much as possible. For example, one of my clients had to literally change, actually 2 of my clients had to change job positions because the one that they were working in was just not their cup of tea, and it was so stressful. And now that they have changed into newer job positions, they are a completely different person, and moving forward, their stress has been so much better. About the pros and cons of working a stressful job, is it really worth it, or this one? So a lot of people, a couple of my clients too, have realized that they're not getting enough protein, and protein right now is just not a trend. I promise you, it's not one of those fad diets. It's not going to be something that comes and goes. It is something that is tried and true. Like, we are not getting enough protein in on a daily basis. So an average adult would definitely need at least 100 grams. So like, yeah, I find that most of my clients starting out with me have ranged from like 30 to 50 grams of protein a day. Yikes. And I always just give the guidelines of like, okay, if this is where we're at right now, just get to a point of like where you're getting in about 100. And that takes time. Like, people are busy. We don't always have like our choices right there and ready to go and ready to eat, and so it takes some time sometimes to actually just get into the routine of just having a consistent amount of protein. So yeah, just these 1, 2, 3, 4, just these 4 things in this month of January, you will be so far ahead. Being able to just nail these 4 things makes such a huge difference. It keeps you regulated on a nervous system level and keeps you feeling clear-headed. Call it the basics because it is just a solid foundation that you can now work up on after. Phase 1, once you get that pretty solid, then there's phase 2. Into phase 2, there's a couple of the very basic don'ts, which are limit your alcohol. I know it's a social thing and we all love it so much. I personally have given it up completely because it stalls fat loss completely. Like, you will not be able to lose any weight if you have alcohol in your system. So even just one drink, you think, oh, it's just one drink, whatever. No, like, it completely stops your fat loss process. So if you were just in a good momentum and then Friday, or the weekend comes around and you're like, let me just kick back a beer or something like that, or some wine, you're going to stall your results. And so if you are willing to sacrifice those results you were just working so hard for, then go for it. But yeah. So going into phase 2, now you can add the next step. The first phase 1 part, you don't need to go crazy into nutrition. You really just need to up your protein. You could keep everything completely the same, just up your protein. That's really the most biggest priority right here. So once you go into phase 2, you're at a stable amount of about 100, if not more, grams of protein a day, and you're consistent. It fits into your life. You don't have to think about it. It's becoming second nature. Phase 2 is where we start adding in the strength training. You want to add this in later because obviously it takes a little bit more time out of your week. And so if you're already busy and you don't already have a habit of exercising, then you don't want to add too much to your plate because then you're more likely to opt out when life gets busy. Trying to get to a point where you've habit stacked the first phase and then you say, this is feeling pretty good, pretty easy, what else can I add? That's when you add in the strength training. So if you don't already have a gym membership, get one of those. If you don't want to get one of those and you want to work out at home, that's totally cool too. Have some exercise equipment at home. I love working with people with. Sometimes people just work on their nutrition with me, other times they just work on their training with me, or both. Sometimes there's people that would like both. And so usually when we start integrating the training, we go very slow and we add in very strategic exercises that warm you up properly and work on any weaknesses that you've got going on, imbalances in the muscles and whatnot. So we add in some balance exercise and then we split and we only add 3 workouts a week. Sometimes, like for example, one of my clients, she has just started with 2 and we're in like month 2 now and we have just stuck to 2 workouts a week and that's what's worked for her. She eventually obviously wants to get to that 3rd one, but with life, being a mom, being married, working full time, it is a lot. And so it's totally understandable if you just take your time to just work up to 2 workouts a week. You might be realizing, man, I might need some help with this, and that is what I'm here for, because not only is just rearranging your routine to make it fit into your life already overwhelming enough, but then to be like, well, is this good to eat? Is that helpful? Like, should I try this protein supplement powder or this one? And then, what should I do for exercises? What's going to work for me in menopause? What's going to work for me just building the muscle if I'm at home versus at the gym? There's like a lot of nuances that goes into it. And so that's what I'm here for. And that's what people reach out for me for, is help in just having those 2 plans and, checking in with them once a week to just see, are we keeping up with it? Is this working? And yeah. Here's the more exciting part. Once you actually start seeing the fruition of your efforts, about 3 to 6 months in, you'll start to notice what we call recomping, or your body is recomping, you're building muscle and you're dropping some body fat. So you may or may not notice a change on the scale. You may or may not even notice a change in measurements if you measure your body. However, you'll notice that you feel a lot stronger, you feel a lot more connected to your body, you feel like your clothes are fitting a little bit differently from the bits and daily amounts of consistency now adding up. clients who have dropped pant sizes just from sticking to a 3-month long program that I've made for them. Clients that have stuck with my training program for 4 or 5 months and have dropped about 30 pounds because I made them do a crazy amount of cardio, burpees, whatever CrossFit intensity sort of nonsense. I slowed them down actually and introduced strength training in a proper way, and yeah, exciting phase to be in. And that's usually the point where I give you some snaps, because if you've actually been able to be consistent and be able to engineer your life to follow these steps, then you know that you're in the right headspace and that you're on to greater things. If it's proving to be challenging and you're running into a lot of calls and questions and is this right, is that right, sort of thought process, and you kind of just feel like you're falling off and then having to get back on, falling off and then having to kind of have yourself as the guiding voice, but life is just lifing really hard, and this is when a professional steps in and kind of just is the guiding voice for you. It's really, really helpful. I know it's kind of just like an aerial view. It's not technically step by step, but it's as step by step as I can get to those who are pretty aware of their habits already and who are kind of like not new to exercise and nutrition and whatnot. So if you need help with any of this, please comment below and let's get in touch. And my email is here in on my page. So I'll see you next time. Bye.